Hey, it's Tony again with another Type 5 how-to. Now, I've had this Tineco vacuum for a while, and at the beginning it worked really well, but lately the suction on it hasn't been working as great and it's been leaving a lot of water on the floor. Turns out that the hose that goes from the head of the vacuum up to the dirty water tank has split in half. So after some time, apparently these hoses get a little bit brittle and can snap. So I went ahead and took things into my own hands, found some replacement hoses on Amazon. So we're going to try to replace this today. I'm going to take you along the way and try to show you step by step how you can do this yourself to get this vacuum back up and running. All right, so for our first step to take this top part off to replace the hose, we're going to take out these 4 Phillips head screws on the scraper and try to pull that off. All right, after that scraper bar is off, I've gone ahead and flipped it over, and I'm counting 10 Phillips head screws that you're going to need to remove from the bottom. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then one over here for 10. Use a long skinny screwdriver to get down to get those screws. So we'll take those off and see if the top comes off. Turns out that behind this cover there are an additional 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that I can see. So we're going to go ahead and take those out and try to pop this cover off. All right, with that cover off, you can really see that cracked hose there. I want to try to disassemble this head, so it looks like there's some push tabs. I got to push in one on either side to be able to pop that head off, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do that and then take it from there. All right, now before I try to completely take off the top of the hose, I want to free up the bottom by removing these 2 small Phillips screws, and we'll have to pull the wire up out of this channel out of the way. Maybe press this tab to get the bottom of this hose out. So we'll do that next. All right, to give myself a little bit more leverage to clear the top here, I'm going to go ahead and remove this water hose. It should just pull straight off. Also note that I removed the 2 wires off of this motor. You may also want to remove the 2 wires here off this motor to give yourself a little bit more room to pull this bottom end of that hose tube off. So we'll get this removed, see if we can pull this out any further to try to get this whole piece out. Okay, so this was our issue, the hose that had snapped here from the top part of the connector from the bottom. With this water hose free, it cleared enough space to remove the top of this hose out from here. I did need to use a pair of snips to cut the wire inside of this bad hose so that I could separate it. So we're gonna go ahead and remove all of the bad hose from these 2 plastic pieces. We're gonna need to remove or reuse those plastic top and bottom pieces. And then when I go to glue the new hose on, I'm going to potentially glue the hose into just the top, slide the top through, and then attach it to the bottom. Okay, don't glue it together before sliding that hose back through, otherwise you're not going to be able to get it back on. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so you may notice that I had to literally rip the wire out from the hose to get it off of these threads because it was glued on. But if you pull the wire and twist it off, you should be able to clean off those threads pretty easily. And then this new hose piece actually will screw into place, all right, into our piece. It actually screws counterclockwise here for the top. Same with the bottom. We'll screw in counterclockwise. Now, before I finish this off entirely and screw it into place, I'm going to use some of that glue to create more of a good seal around this hose. So just make note you are screwing that in the opposite direction. Go ahead and clean these pieces up. And then I should be able to, once I've glued this into place and reassembled it, we'll probably wait 24 hours for this glue to set up before we go ahead and use the vacuum, but that should be it. Well, while you watch me put this back together, watch out for a few things while you're reassembling it. It took me about a half hour to do the whole thing. But make sure when you're putting that cover back up on the top that you don't pinch any wires. It should all go back together pretty easily. And then it was helpful to have a small pick as well as a pair of snips to complete the process. The kit that I bought came with a security bit type of screwdriver. I didn't need that for my S5 Pro model, but yours might need that. So if you found this video helpful, feel free to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more helpful tips and tricks like this in the future. But that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully I'll see you all on the next one.